Hello, friends. I have another fun little product here for you. You know how I'm always on the outlook for anything portable because I travel a lot with my paints. So this is a little travel watercolor set, and I like it. It's under $20, just barely under $20, and it's just kind of fun. I can throw this in my purse, my backpack. It's just really easy. So it is made by Lightwish. It's 12 colors. So let me open it up and just tell you. It's got this kind of, it reminds me of the Velvet Touch brush. It's kind of got a spongy, soft feel. And when you unzip it, inside they've got, now I went ahead and swatched these out so I could show you. Oops, I got it upside down. So it's got a swatch card, which I did swatch out here, and it's got your basic colors, but I think they give you, the perfect ones. You can mix them, match them, and here they are. As you know, I like Lightwish, so you get that. It's actually a pretty nice little case they give you there. But here's the fun part. So they give you this. This is your water dish. And this would be perfect too if you like hiking and things like I do. So let's get it open here. Let's see. I've had it open, I promise. There we go. And stuff like this is just kind of fun for me. You get a couple little palettes. So here's another palette here. One here. So lots of mixing area actually, which is kind of surprising. And what I like is that they're separate. So 3, 6, one large one here. I think that's pretty good. I like that. What I would actually do, if I can do this without dropping these, is put these in here so you don't have to carry both of these with you. And actually, I really kind of like that they give you this case because you could put other colors in here if you like. Now they don't all fit here, so I would probably choose my favorites, but that is an option for you. So now I've already got those in there. You have 3 more extras over here that I'm going to leave in here, but I think 9 paints would actually be perfect. And then here is the swatch set. This is considered a student grade pigment. So, but something like this is just really fun. Again, really portable. And I think it's just going to be fun to take with me. So I'm going to leave those in there. I think what I'll do is switch out, let's see, I'm going to switch out this green for my yellow. And then maybe switch out, let's see, I really don't use black a whole lot, so I'll switch that out for my sap green. So with these colors here, this is actually some dark reds. Wait till you see this really pretty pink. It's rose madder. It's a really pretty pink. So I think that would be a good collection for me. So I'm going to set that over to the side. This is also, Lightwish always makes, I've got a ton of them, journals, and I really like them because, again, they're portable. They're made nice. And then here's our little water dish, which I believe can attach, if I can figure, oh yeah, right here. So I just, things like this are kind of fun to me. They're just something kind of interesting, but I'm going to set mine down. So we're going to just do that right now. Let's fill it with some water. There we go. Hopefully that isn't too much. Don't want to spill it. There we go. So I kind of like that. And then let's open up our book here. And I've been playing in this book. And some little people I'm going to be sharing with you, little people on a beach, some flowers. But I wanted to paint this fun little field. Just really easy, something simple that you could do on a card or something. I'm going to go ahead. So we always want to spray and just kind of activate our paint. So I did that there. I'm going to use my larger brush here, and I'm just going to wet my brush, and I'm going to wet this entire area here. So let's do that. Hold on, I'm just switching something up here. Okay, So I'm gonna wet this entire area. Oop. At least 3/4, because you don't want to split your area exactly in half. I'm going to do a top and a bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. And then, oh, darn it, keep going into my other water palette. And then I'm going to grab some of the blue. So this is their ultramarine. They've also got a beautiful Prussian blue. So that is the ultramarine. And then we'll just kind of dab that in there. Make some interesting cloud shapes, something like that. And then I've got it's not quite halfway down, so I'm gonna leave that the way it is. Let's just, how about if we add a tiny bit more of that in there, just here and there, just to give a little bit of interest. There we go. And then as that dries, I will go in and kind of dab it. So I'll wash my paintbrush. I'm going to dab it off on a paper towel, and then I'm going to start with the bottom here. So let's wet the bottom, just damp. And I'm gonna go in there with green. Ooh, look at the green. See how vibrant the colors are? Really pretty. And just add that in. Maybe a little bit of that yellow ochre near the bottom, just for something different. For interest again. Something like that. Okay, I know. It looks like a big mess right now, doesn't it? But watch. So while this is kind of drying, I'm going to go in there with a tissue and look at the vibrant colors. Like, I love those. I'm going to make flowers out of the purple ones. I think that'll be really fun. So I'll just take a tissue, and I'm just going to create some little cloud forms here. Something like that. Just something interesting. So we've got some little cloud shapes there. There we go. Okay. A lot of times too, I will like kind of pick up. What I mean by that is lift. And this paper, by the way, is 140-pound cold press. So I will just take a damp brush and lift out in circles. So I'm kind of going in a circle here. And that makes some really nice, puffy, fun clouds. Especially the darker, as you can see there, the darker the cloud, the more it's gonna lift and make a bit more of a kind of effect. Okay, so for down here, what I'm gonna do is, this works best. I'm gonna take a little stippler, but you can definitely take a credit card or anything like that, and you can just scrape in here to create some of these stems. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm pressing kind of hard. And just scratching into the surface. But look how beautiful and vibrant those colors are. And I didn't even use the mixing palettes here. Let's see if we can mix up really pretty. They give you a purple color here, but I feel like, let's see what their purple is. So here's their purple, which is really gorgeous. But I'm going to see if I can mix their blue and their red and create my own purple. By the way, look at that gorgeous pink. Can you see that? It is beautiful. It's like a magenta. It's so pretty. As you know, that is like my favorite all-time color. But I want to play with mixing a little bit. Ooh, look at that purple. Isn't that pretty? So darker, and then I'm gonna go in with some of that red. Yeah, I like that. That is so fun. And you know what's interesting on this little palette? It actually isn't resisting too much. Ooh, that's like a red violet. I think I'm gonna use that one. They do give you a purple in here though. So once this dries a bit, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse my brush. And again, you can use a credit card with this and scratch out those. Just gonna pick up a bunch of that paint on the outer edge. Just clean that up a bit and wait for that to dry. I might scratch in just a tiny bit more. There we go. So fun. I love scratching. By the way, if you got my subscription box, this might be a free little gift for you guys. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do, you could either splatter on here or do like I'm going to do. Let's splatter first, and then I'm going to show you. I'm going to use this tiny little sponge, if I can find it here. Here it is. It's just a little sea sponge, but let's do a little bit of splattering. And so fun, you could make this like a travel journal and just use it for all your travels. So I'm gonna go in here first and do a little bit of splattering. And because it's kind of wet, it's going to spread, which I like, because what that will do is make it look a little bit more in the background. And then once that dries, now if you were outside, which is how I would use this, it will dry really quick. But what you can do, I'm gonna soak up a little bit of that, is I'm gonna use my gun, because my heat gun, because I'm inside. I know my heat gun sounds really wonky right now. There we go. And then let's get out our tiny sea sponge, and we're just going to pick up some of that purple. And I want it quite vibrant because I want this dark. Don't want to touch it with my dirty hands. And then I'm going to go in and just dab in some flowers. Look how easy. But I want this quite dark. And there you go, basically. You've got some little flower fields. So there you go. You could always go in to the bottom here and just darken that up again. So looking at our palette here, maybe some of that green, a little bit of the black, which I don't normally use. Keep forgetting to use my little water there. You could even add that purple to it and it would give you an olivey green. So we could mix that gorgeous green. Look at their sap green. Isn't that pretty? And then some of that purple. And it gives you a beautiful, beautiful olive green. And we could go in here and just tap in to the bottom like that. Ooh. And then make it washy around the edges there. Look how pretty that is. It really gets this, gives you this feeling of depth. Let's add a little bit more of that green and a bit more of that purple. Oh, the prettiest. I love purple and green for a sap green. I think it's so pretty. It really makes this smoky type olivey green. There we go. And look at that. How interesting is that? Rinse my brush. And now for the best part. This is always the best part. I'm going to pull the tape off. Look at that nice clean edge. And this would make a beautiful, fun little card. Normally I would wait for this to dry. And I peel my tape straight across as much as I can. But look how pretty this is. Isn't this a fun little set? I just love miniature portable things like this. I think they're so fun. They're perfect for a coffee shop, a backpack. if you're traveling with the kids still, you could put these in their bag, and they're $20 each. So fun, right? And then you even end up with this little dish that you could put some additional colors in. So you can fit in here your 9 little pans. And then on top of that, you could bring maybe your gold metallic or something like that and play with those. So there you go. Thank you, Lightwish. This was such a fun little project. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you soon. Happy painting. I love sharing these little portable things with you. And again, thanks, Lightwish, for such fun products.